Do you guys remember Cyclops from X-Men? Well, he's the hero. Brad Starlight is in charge of rescuing his damsel in distress, Princess Demura, and asks Wonder and Sylvia to help him in saving this princess from the big bad King Dragger. And it plays with so much of our cliches and things that we expect from typical hero saves princess tropes. And throughout the episode, you see how Wonder is more excited about saving a princess, and he even says that, hey, it's been one of my biggest dreams of saving a princess. And Sylvia's like, well, let's help a sister out. like that. She's like very chill about it, but Starlight is like, no, you have to be my sidekick. You have to be my steed. I'm the hero in this story. Like, typical hero. He's like Gaston, but more likable, I think. You see kind of in his design that he's very America. Come on, star-spangled cape and red armor. Oh god, very America. They go to this maze that the King Dragger had put before his big kingdom in order to stop any heroes that were planning on saving Princess Demura. And within this labyrinth, there's a lot of challenges, be it evading arrows and big balls of big spiked balls and whatever. Wonder goes through them like so easily. He's just so into saving the princess that he's like, wow! He just goes in a straight line and nothing touches him. But Brad Starlight is like, okay, let's think about this. And he just takes one step and boom, he's screwed. He keeps on bothering Sylvia. Sylvia's like the more bothersome one of the two, and Wander's still oblivious about the whole thing. He just thinks, oh, we're gonna help him and we're gonna save a princess. Whee! They reach the castle after a lot of trials and tribulations, along with getting the sword from a stone, and I mean it literally. They go through the sword in the stone. Brad makes this big speech about, oh, this sword that was made by a dying comet or whatever. This typical prophecy sounding, stuff for making a sword or whatever. And he says that only the bravest and the most courageous hero can take the sword from the stone. And Wanda just picks it up without letting Brad finish that sentence, and like, here you go. Like that, and Brad's like, no, put it back. He just gets so uptight with being the freaking hero that Wander's like, okay. I love that about Wander. He doesn't get bothered that easily, and he's, like I mentioned in a few of the episodes back, that he's blissfully ignorant while still being intelligent. And Brad Starlight breaks the sword, saying, oh, it's better this way. We're good. And they reach the castle, but of course they face off King Dagger's goons that look a lot like Maleficent's goons from Sleeping Beauty. And they get captured after Brad Starlight does this big fit. He throws a fit about, hey, I'm supposed to be the hero, shut up, everybody, go back to where you were. But they get captured, and they're brought to King Dagger, who, like any typical bad guy that you see, he starts monologuing about, when the sun sets, Princess Demura will be mine, kind of like Bowser with Peach. And of course, you can see this coming from a mile away. I'm not giving anything away with this. Princess Demura orders the goons to let go of Brad and Wonder and Sylvia, because she outright tells them, hey, did this guy ask you to go on his quest to save me? Wonder and Sylvia's like, yeah. And of course they're let go, and Princess Demura basically tells Brad that, hey, stop it. You know that I'm gonna marry Dagger, okay? Throughout the episode, Brad Starlight has this little book that looks like your typical storybook, but it's actually his diary. Like, he says, the prophecy foretold, and Demura's like, dude, that's your freaking diary from when we were 13 or 15, I don't know. And Princess Demura is not taking any of his shit, and that's awesome. She shows you immediately that she is in love with Dagger. And even Dagger's like, oh, I'm sorry, honey, I wanted our wedding to be perfect, after he screams at Brad. And of course, Demura is like this, like the sweetest person ever, and she's like, it doesn't matter, as long as we're together, everything's gonna be fine. And aw, and even Dagger's like, oh, Pookie. It's the most cutest thing ever. And I'm like, you're playing with the trope I like, the Beauty and the Beast trope. I love it. I freaking love that. And when Demura then asks Brad, hey, we can still be friends, okay? Life is not a fairy tale. And of course, like typical princesses, especially Disney princess, she's surrounded by little fair creatures after she says that, and she's all dressed pink. And, oh god, so much pink. But after she says that, it's like basically hitting the typical Disney princess in the face. I don't mean the current ones, I mean like the past ones. And of course, Brad Starden is not gonna take any of that. He kidnaps Princess Demura, and it's time for Wander to take a stand and help Dagger rescue her. But of course, she handles it, Princess Demura, and basically says, like I said, this isn't a fairy tale, and basically kicks Brad's butt. They get married, Princess Demura with King Dagger, and everything goes back to the way it was, happily ever after. Wander's freaking excited that he and the others saved the princess. That's like the only thing that matters to him, while King Dagger and Princess Demura give out this very good speech about relationships, that the plan is to live happily ever after, but you need communication and trust and love in order to make any relationship work. And that is awesome. Just like with the troll episode, in which I said that moral is really, really good, this one is especially good thanks to talking, basically giving you the moral, like saying it in like typical, like in a typical speech, that it speaks out to any relationship, and telling that to kids is especially awesome. It's very, very good to show that to kids. Like, hey, it doesn't matter if you're ugly or pretty or whatever. What matters is that you love each other, you trust each other, you communicate to each other whenever you have a problem, and just work things out. Be a team. It's not just a one-side thing. It's a team, okay? Both sides have to work together. And that's awesome.